I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. A little fan cam review by Sam Tipster. It does an article in the Racing Post and everything. Sam, how are you doing, mate? What did you think of West Ham today?
I'm all right, thanks. I'm all right, James. It was main word today was frustrating. I think game was there for the taking. We was just, on another day, one of them chances would have gone in, but it's getting a bit desperate now, and we certainly need that win. Southampton's now become a massive game. It's like a 6-pointer.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I've called this for a long time. I don't know about yourself, but I look at West Ham at the minute, and I'm like, it reminds me of Avram Grant season all over again.
Yeah, and I can't understand why. You've got a team that's come from the semi-final of the Europa League. You've got the same manager there. If anything, we've added players. It's not like we've had a summer where it's all disappeared. And I just can't put my finger on it. Something's not right in the dressing room. Is it the whole Declan Rice situation, that something we don't know about there? There's something's happening backstage, like back scenes, that we just don't know.
What do you think it is, Sam?
I think it could be the Declan Rice situation. I don't know if they already know he's going or where he's going, or or did we give him the captain? It said we obviously gave him the captaincy to keep him there.
Yeah,
but I don't know if he was ready for it in that respect. That we all want him to be the captain and the new West Ham icon, but do the senior players, do they look at him as a player that they want to be ordered about from? They obviously see a great player, but do they have that respect for a 22, 23-year-old that they would if, say, Ogbonga was captain, Lanzini was captain? But obviously they're fringe players at the minute. So it was, I do think it was kind of, we had to give him the captaincy. And I don't know if that was the best thing. For him, it possibly was, but I don't know if it was good for the rest of them.
I agree, mate. So I do agree slightly with you there. I look at Noble. Noble was like the sort of anchor in the ship, isn't he? And now he's at the door. There is no one else there with any experience in this situation. I think people have had it so good over the last couple of years. This is the real West Ham coming back. Do you know what I'm saying? It does remind me of Grant's season though, all over again.
I don't know. I don't want to think about that. That was. We had some real crap players then, didn't we?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Now we haven't got that. This is what I can't get my head around. We've got quality on paper. We're a top 10 team all day long. I mean, seeing now as the season's going on, Paqueta's getting better and better each game.
Yeah,
but I've noticed he's quite aggressive. He's reminding me of John Moncur. It's a yellow card a game, and
He's the one to back every time he plays, mate, for a yellow card, 100%.
Yeah, I said to the boy in the first half, I said he's going to get a yellow. You could just see a couple of tackles straight away. I said he's well on his way to a yellow. And I weren't too impressed with his attitude when he got subbed off today. And that was mainly for the fact that he was having a better game than Souček, and he was kind of bossing the game, but he was one tackle away from being sent off. We couldn't have afforded to go down to 10 men today at any stage. So I didn't really like his attitude. Not shaking the hand of the sub, storming off down the tunnel. I did see him come back out, but I did see two people from the bench run after him down there. So he was probably given a stern word, but I would imagine the excuse would come out that he probably needed to go to the toilet or something like that. But it didn't look good. It didn't look good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, mate. Give me your assessment of today's game. Obviously, we went 1-0 down. Saïd Benrahma scored a penalty, and then we filtered that into a draw, basically.
Again, why do we need to concede the first goal to want to play any football? We don't kick off and go try and nick. We've not gone into a game this season and tried getting the first goal of the game, not once, and that's been frustrating because last season it was we pounced straight. We've not got that. There's something, I don't know if it was Antonio. He's a weird situation with that one as well because obviously. He's not the best player, but we played to his strengths last season. And Danny Ings is not that player. Antonio's not been the same player this season. So the whole attacking structure has just been a mess, really.
Yeah. It just seems like everyone just don't know what they're doing. For me personally, it seems like Moyes don't know what his best system is. The only thing I will say about today is he had his two natural centre halves there in Zuma and Aguerd, which is a positive. If we can keep them fit, then we might have half a chance of getting out of this sort of situation. Do you know what I'm saying? At present,
very good centre halves, and
yeah,
the pairing I have no issue with. The only issue defensively today, I thought we were strung out on the right. I thought Kerr was caught out time and time again today.
Yeah.
He's definitely not a natural right back. So I don't know why Ben Johnson didn't play or try something. He's been caught out a lot. It's not the first time this season. If you actually look, I would say he's probably been responsible for about 4 points this season minimum.
I agree on that.
There's been own goals, there's been mistakes, but out of the new signings that Moyes brought in, he's persistently played him out of the others, and it's all like they need time to settle. They need time to settle. But Kerr was straight in from day one and filled any gap at the back. When watching him, I actually think he could be probably better off as a defensive midfielder because his mistakes won't be as costly as he's obviously good at football, but in the positions he's been making mistakes this season, it's cost us points.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, mate. Listen, I gave him a big sort of write-up on this channel previously, Kara, and I was devastated the way he's played. Like, I do feel what you just said, Sam. I 100% agree. He was chucked in against Brighton and literally hounded it into like to the walls, basically. Do you know what I mean? To say, here you go, this is Premier League football for you. We've got 3 right backs, and we don't know which one's the best one. That's the problem. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean. Kufau is obviously the best one, but he had such a bad start of the season, continuing from last season where he was tailing off at the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, on his day, he's definitely our best right back, but he hasn't been consistent for over a year now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Obviously, game filters out into a draw, Sam. What do you think moving forward with West Ham? Like, because obviously we've got a couple of weeks off now. Gives us
not going to help.
Yeah,
the international break is the worst timing. I mean, we could go play Larnaca, beat Larnaca again this week. So all of a sudden, it don't matter who you've played, but you've had a string of games where you've won 3, drawn 1, lost 1 in your last 5, and then you've got 2 weeks off until you play probably Southampton, which is now the biggest game of the season. It's like a 6-pointer, and the international break come at the wrong time for us. I think if we played Southampton next week, we'd beat them.
I do feel they need to sort of focus now in these last 12 games. Obviously, next week's game was obviously cancelled because Man City are in the FA Cup. The Southampton game is just massive. Like the next 3 games, I've just done a space before I come on here, and they turned around and said to me that next 3 are Southampton, Newcastle, and Fulham. I expect 7
and then
points
Arsenal.
minimum.
And then Arsenal, I'm after, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've got to get at least 7 points out of the next 3 games, in my opinion. I don't think we can afford to lose any game in the next 3.
And what scared me on the way home, the boy looks at the fixtures, there's hardly any games left. And that's the problem. Now the season's running out. We've really got to get some points and get them quick. It's frustrating, as you say, because we've got the players, and that's what does me.
Listen, I agree, mate. I agree. I've said it so many times on this channel. And the nerves I have, I've seen West Ham go down a few times. Like in 03, I see us go down, and I see us go down in 11. So I've seen us twice go down with better sides than what we've got now, really. Like, especially in 03, I thought 03 side was a lot better than the side we've got. But the problem I have is I just don't know. You just never know what West Ham's going to turn up. Like,
that's exactly it.
And if you was a betting man, which we both are, I look at it like this, and I think you can never back West Ham. You just never know.
I stopped backing them 10 years ago. It's I'll have a couple of pound on us to win 3-1 most games that I go to just out of habit. But I've got out of that now. They've cost me so much money in the past when they certain games and that I can't bet on them anymore. You can't let your heart and your brain get in the same bet. So I leave them. If I do a football accumulator, I don't care who West Ham, they could be at home to Accrington. No, you're not going in because you'll be the team that'll let me down. Never again.
100% agree with you there, mate. I learnt my lesson many years ago on that, and never again. Let's move to the Cheltenham Festival. Sam, obviously, it's one of the biggest events globally now. Do you know what I mean? It's literally gone massive. What are you expecting next week at Cheltenham Festival? Lots of people.
Lots of
sure.
good stories, hopefully. Lots of good stories. I want to see positive stories come out of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to see trouble with the crowd that you had a few years ago and some stupid scenes. Obviously, you want the less fatalities of horses, the better. That doesn't look good because obviously the industry is under scrutiny at the minute. It's being
Yeah.
watched from every angle. They're all looking at the whip review. There's a lot going into this year's festival than maybe other years, just because I think there's a lot more people watching it that wouldn't be in the respect of the whip as the whip review coming up. It's caused a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward to Tuesday starting and just the racing, and that's what I'm in the game for. Is days like that, Tuesday, and this and Royal Ascot are the best times of the year for me.
Who would you say is sort of the trainer who's in hot form at the minute for you?
Nichols has been in form all season, but he hasn't got the team that he would have in recent years.
Yeah.
He's got a couple that have got lively chances this year. Gordon Elliott, Mullins, but again, they're sending over 100 horses each, so they're going to be expected to be winning races.
Yeah.
I think one trainer to look out for this week is Chris Gordon. He'll only have
Yeah.
one or two runners there, but I think they're going to run well. He's on a 24% strike rate all year. It's his best year to date. And he's one to follow this week. He's got a couple that I'll keep my eye on this week at prices as well.
Is there any jockeys for you who you think, it's going to be the one?
Davy Russell turns up all the time, Cheltenham, but you're going to get no value back in him. I've not looked at the top jockey market. One guy I know who always rides the course well is Sam Twiston Davis. And if he gets the rides at his local track, he'll win a few races this week. But I don't know if he'll be up there with the Irish boys that have got top mounts in every race. But he'll sneak a few winners this week. Twiston Davis, solid jockey, one of the best. He's certainly one of the best around Cheltenham. You catch him at the November meeting or anything like that, you're onto a winner.
Yeah, that's it, man. Tell you what, then we'll go into it. Let's start off with Tuesday, Sam. I'll let you take it away on this.
Yeah. So what I've done is, obviously this year I've put tips in the ultimate guide.
Yeah.
So I've stuck to what I've put in there. I'm not going to go off so people think he's putting other stuff up. So the first race of the festival, the Supreme Novice Hurdle, I did like Tamaris, the Nichols trained horse. They say a lot depended on the ground with him with a bit of rain, but I don't think that's the case. He's won every race under rules so far. Tolworth hurdle winners at Sandown, always had a good record in this race. He looks one to follow, certainly going forward. I mean, I don't know if 2 miles is his best trip. He probably would have been better stepping up. But it's a wide open Supreme this year, and he's certainly got a chance. And at the price he is, I wouldn't put anyone off. The trainer's done it before with a French recruit when he had Alpha off. He's compared him to Alpha off as well. So, I'm expecting quite a good run from that first race. But like I learnt my lesson a few years ago with Dungwib, I'm not going to go steaming into the first race again. I'll let it'll be a little play to start me off for the week. I'm more interested in that second one there, Chemical Energy, Gordon Elliott. He's won the race 4 times officially in the last 10 years, 5 if you include the year he was banned and Denise Foster trained the winner, which was just basically under her name. He's targeted this horse at this race all season. It ran a bad race last time out, but he said we can put a line through that, and if he says that it weren't at his best that day, he's got a hard race against the favourite here, but Elliott knows what it'll take to beat him. He's come twice to him already this year with other horses. But, yeah, Chemical Energy for me, for the stable that's won this race so many times, it's been aimed at it. You can't knock a stable that's won the race so many times and they've pointed one that's going for that race. You can't ignore it.
Yeah. What prices, before I move on, what prices do you think they will be on the day?
I've not looked today at the prices, but last I looked at Tamurus, because today was the 48-hour decks, and where I've been out of West Ham and that, I've not actually had a look at the prices yet. Tamurus was trading about 8 or 10s, and Chemical Energy was about 8s as well.
Yeah, so it's nice.
A bit of value.
A little bit, yeah, not bad for the first one. Wednesday. The Bannymore Hurdle and the Bumper. Take it away, Sam.
Right. You call me boring here, but both of these are Willie Mullins. And first one there, Champ Keeley. That was my original selection at the beginning of the season for the Supreme Novice Hurdle. But it lost a grade 1. And they then stepped it up to 2 mile 4, and it absolutely bolted up. So the step up in trip brought out further improvement. And obviously, if I had it down as my supreme novice hurdle winner and it's gone up in trip and won a grade 1 already at that, it looks like one of his better chances in the race. And then the Lecky Watson is a complete outsider. The guy, I think he had 12 entered in the race at Mullins at the last time I looked. But this one caught my eye. It won a race, but it was disqualified at the end for pushing. It was barging into another horse. Anyway, it was a scrappy finish. But there was something that day that said if he didn't get that horse in a straight line, that looks a really good horse. He's been runner-up on all 3 starts officially. But that one at a price, I think, could run a very big race. That's one I'm definitely keeping my eye on, is Lecky Watson. That took my eye on its first bumper. I really like the look of this horse.
Is that an each way? Is that an each way shout for you then?
Yeah, massive. I think the last I looked at was about 33s.
Nice.
That's an each way bet. And obviously, as I say, the trainers won it so many times in the past, but 3 of them have actually been at double figure prices as well. So sending 12 to the race, he doesn't know what's his best chance, let's be honest. And that's definitely worth a bet, that one for me.
Oh, nice one, Sam. Move on to Thursday. Only one, but it's a good one.
Tricky day. It was a very tricky day for me to start the Stayers hurdle. I was obviously in the paper. I put up Paisley Park, but another few horses that have beaten this season have now been supplemented for the race. I've left that race alone for now. On the day, I'll have a bet on it. But here, the turn of novice trace. Appreciate It was favourite for the Irish Arkle over 2 miles last time out, and it got done for speed. It's obviously a classy animal. It was already got Cheltenham form. But I do think the step up in trip will bring out improvement in him, and he could be one going forward that over 2.5 miles, even further. I think he could well be a good horse going forward. But this looks a race that's winnable again. And again, I don't think the trainer knows what's his best horse at this trip. It all got a bit scrappy of who he was putting in. And I do think we got a bit of value there. That was about 10-1 last I looked.
Wow. I must admit, I know I appreciate it. I've seen it run a few times, and he's a decent horse, I've got to be honest.
He got beat by El Fabio in the Arkle last time out, and that I think will win the English Arkle. I do think that piece of form could look solid there. Yeah,
and then you got the Friday Gold Cup day, as we all love it.
Yeah, I had my eye on Ahoy Senor last year as a novice. I really had my really good horse. Avoided Cheltenham last year to go to Aintree, beat Fury Road by 8 lengths. Fury Road's running in the Ryanair Chase this year, and he's second favourite behind Shishkin. If you took Shishkin out the race, I think Fury Road would be about 5-2, 11-4.
Yeah,
and obviously, Ahoy Senor started off this season with big expectations. He was originally the anti-post favourite for the Gold Cup, but he's had a couple of bad runs, but he's turned that around in his last run in the Cotswold Chase and shown to everyone he's still got the ability, and on a going day, he'll certainly mix it with the best. But again, he's probably the best chance of an English winner in this year's race. I think the favourite's worth taking on. And then obviously the Irish Gold Cup winner conflated in there as well. They're obviously good horses, but if for the English to win it this year or the British to win it this year, chances are it's going to be Ahoy Senor. Stable's flying as well. Lucinda Russell, she had 6 winners on the trot last week. The stable's in flying form, and I think Ahoy Senor's their stable star. I think it would have been wrapped in cotton wool for this day. I think I'm expecting a big run there. And then this is me Chris Gordon one I mentioned earlier. County Hurdle here, Highway 102. Boasted solid form all year. They even dipped their water in a grade 1. It finished 3rd behind Constitution Hill over the festive period. All right, it was beaten 7 lengths, but for them to want to even put it in a race with Constitution Hill, I think it's running off a mark of 143, and it certainly looks more a better horse than that going forward. And I think the County Hurdle was obviously always wide open, and you know this horse is obviously ready and being targeted at because it was originally declared for Saturday's Imperial Cup and then pulled out at the final declaration stage. So they've definitely had this eye on this County Hurdle for a long time.
Wow. There's some good horses there, I must admit. Some of them are really nice prices. So listen, take Sam's advice.
I could have sat here and gave out all the favourites, but you're not going to get any value back in Constitution Hill and the like. So
yeah. I agree, mate. I agree. Even though Constitution Hill is a powerful horse, and I think it'll just dominate that
I'm looking
race.
forward to it.
Yeah,
looking forward to that race.
Yeah, just to round this up, Sam. I do really appreciate you coming on tonight, mate. I really do. Going back to West Ham, how do you see West Ham finishing this year?
If you said to me 17th in the Europa League conference, I would bite your arm off and go into next year with Moyes and the setup we've got and build on it all day long. 17th and knocked out in the semi-final, not good enough.
Yeah,
league position, you just got to survive now. I never thought I'd be saying this, but the main thing is just surviving. We've just got to stay up, really, and then assess it all again in the summer. Because I think there's players that's going to want out now. Skamaka's going to want out. I think Paqueta don't look too interested. I think there could be a bit of a clear out. Obviously, Rice looks like he's going. So just survive this year, because if we go down, we lose them players at a fraction of what we would get.
Yeah, and if we go down, it just devastates everyone, really, if I'm being honest. I agree. Like, I just think 17th in a conference final, I wouldn't say win it, like, because you just never know with West Ham. Like, we haven't won it in 43. Like, we just never won anything in 43 years. So, like, I'm not going to peel my hopes on that. The only thing, the fear I do have, and I say it on this channel all the time to the lads, is that will the Premier League prioritise over the conference, because we're fighting to stay in the Prem. If West Ham can manage to get sort of the next 3 games, get 7 points and try and pull away a little bit from that relegation zone, then the conference becomes realistic, in my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I would love to be talking to you today and us sitting in 12th or 11th in the league.
Yeah.
Knowing that we go, but we're not, are we? And it's squeaky bum time going into the final few weeks, I think.
Yeah, I agree, Sam. I agree. Sam, I really do appreciate you coming on, man, giving me your Sunday evening and giving me your sort of fan review and all your tips for Cheltenham. If you don't know Sam, he's going to follow him on Twitter. He's the Cockney Tipster. I do love that little nickname. Top man, absolute gentleman. He's come on tonight. He's given me his time and he's given me some tips for Cheltenham next week. Please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. I will be back 8 o'clock tonight to do the player ratings for West Ham 1, Villa 1. It's going to be interesting. Mixed emotions today. Thought we played well, but we just didn't get the result. But I'm going to let you go, and I will see you again in the next one. Peace.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.